You are already in the database. Not because you committed a crime, not because you're under investigation, but because somewhere an algorithm decided your face was worth remembering. It measured the distance between your eyes, mapped the curve of your jaw, logged the rhythm of your walk, and it did it silently. Across cities, cameras are no longer just recording. They are analyzing. In the past, surveillance meant a human behind a monitor, a guard scanning feeds, a detective reviewing footage after a crime. Now, artificial intelligence watches in real time. It identifies faces in crowds, tracks license plates across states, flags suspicious behavior before anyone calls for help. Governments call it modernization. Corporations call it optimization. Police departments call it efficiency. The scale is unprecedented. From airports to shopping malls, from traffic lights to school hallways, AI-powered systems are turning public space into a data field. Every movement becomes metadata. Every face becomes a pattern. Every anomaly becomes an alert. And the law is still trying to define the boundaries. Officially, AI surveillance exists to keep people safe. Facial recognition locates missing persons. Predictive analytics allocate patrols. Smart cameras identify threats in crowded stations. License plate readers recover stolen vehicles in seconds. Supporters argue these systems reduce human bias. Algorithms do not get tired. They process thousands of feeds simultaneously, detecting risks no human could track. Regulations, they say, exist. Warrants for certain searches, data retention limits, oversight committees. On paper, the safeguards sound solid, but reality is less stable. Public records reveal departments deploying facial recognition without formal approval. Temporary pilot programs quietly becoming permanent infrastructure. In some cases, officers ran facial searches using personal accounts. Agencies accessed third-party databases built from images scraped off social media without consent. The training data behind many systems includes millions of faces collected without explicit permission, identities transformed into code. Then there is accuracy. Independent studies have shown that some facial recognition systems misidentify women and people of color at higher rates. In documented cases, individuals were arrested based on faulty AI matches, released only after the error was exposed. An algorithm generated a confidence score. A human trusted it. But the most unsettling development isn't misidentification, it's prediction. Predictive policing software analyzes historical crime data to forecast where crimes might occur or who might commit them. These systems claim to detect patterns invisible to human analysts. But historical data reflects historical bias. Neighborhoods heavily policed in the past generate more crime reports. That data feeds the algorithm. The algorithm sends more patrols. More patrols generate more data. A feedback loop presented as neutrality. Meanwhile, new tools claim to identify individuals by gait, even with faces obscured. Some systems attempt to detect emotion from facial expressions. Others flag loitering or unusual motion without defining what unusual truly means. Behavior becomes code. Suspicion becomes probability. Oversight becomes theoretical. The most disturbing shift is not that AI can watch you. It's that it can remember you indefinitely. Unlike human observers, these systems do not forget. Data can be stored, linked, cross-referenced with travel records, purchase histories, biometric identifiers. A face at a protest, a license plate near a rally, a pattern of movement across a city, individually meaningless, aggregated, powerful. In some nations, surveillance data connects to financial access and mobility. In others, facial recognition has been used to identify demonstrators after public gatherings. The infrastructure expands faster than legislation, and once installed, it rarely retreats. There are two dominant interpretations. One argues this is inevitable modernization. Crime evolves, threats scale. Human monitoring alone cannot manage modern cities. AI surveillance must be regulated and improved, not resisted. Errors will shrink. Transparency will grow. The second interpretation is more cautious. Constant algorithmic observation reshapes behavior. People act differently when they believe they are always being evaluated. Freedom is not just the absence of punishment, but the absence of invisible scoring. And then there is a darker possibility. That AI surveillance is not merely about safety, but about control. A system that predicts dissent before it forms, that transforms citizens into data profiles, that exercises power without visible force. The most profound shift is psychological. When the watcher is automated and everywhere, resistance becomes statistical noise. No single moment marks the boundary. It moves incrementally. A software update, a new contract, an expanded database. Technology evolves in months. Policy responds in years. Culture adapts quietly. The question is no longer whether AI-powered surveillance exists. It does. The question is where the line is drawn. Is it acceptable in airports, but not sidewalks? In criminal investigations, but not political gatherings? With consent, but what does consent mean in public? Every society must decide how much visibility it will trade for security. But infrastructure built for rare threats rarely remains limited to rare threats. Somewhere right now, an algorithm is scanning a crowd, assigning probabilities, ranking risk, making decisions in milliseconds. No announcement, no visible observer, just code, and the steady expansion of a system that never blinks. If surveillance once required suspicion to begin, what happens when suspicion is automated? When your identity is searchable in real time? When your past movements can be reconstructed instantly? When your future actions are predicted by patterns you never knew you were creating? At what point does safety become control? And when that line is finally crossed, will anyone remember where it once stood?